Yo, what's up? My name's Retro Pat, and I have way too many old retro PC games that I never play. I originally bought them as just shelf fodder, but I think it's about time we changed that. Welcome to my new series about playing an old retro PC game every week to see if they even function or work on new hardware and if they're good games. As always, I hope you experience a bit of nostalgia or maybe even find something new. It's awesome, yet a little awkward that we get to start this series off with such an incredible classic in the case of Diablo 2. It's awesome because it's Diablo 2, it's a phenomenal game and I'm super excited to play it, and that leaves us with the awkward. So excited to play it that I've actually already started playing before the making of this series. This should be the only time this is the case though, and I apologize for that. But this copy of Diablo 2 was given to me as a late birthday gift, and I was just super excited to play it. It's been a really fun game so far, and just the installation process was super nostalgic for someone who didn't even grow up with Diablo 2. The 3-disc installation process with the 2 unused codes were just phenomenal to enter, and all of the booklets, instruction manuals, strategy guides, everything that came along with it was in incredible condition. Aside from a few creases here and there and a little bit of damage on the outside box, this is one of the most pristine copies of Diablo 2 you'll probably see online with the codes unused. Now, I will be doing a full, more in-depth video on Diablo 2. This is just a taste and a way to kick off this other challenge series. And I am a huge sucker for character customization, classes, and races, so let's go ahead and look at what Diablo has to offer. I think you can learn a lot about someone's personality by what class or race they pick in a video game. For example, if you're part of the 24% of people who picked Nord in Skyrim, you're a basic bitch. Whoa, just kidding. But I do wonder who the basic players are out of the Diablo 2 options. Holy yikes, sorceresses and paladins, I'm looking at you. If it wasn't obvious, this is just a joke. Obviously, please play whatever class you want, I'm just poking fun at it. Alrighty, after alienating most of my audience like a good YouTuber would, let's go ahead and continue on with the actual gameplay and mechanics of this classic. Now, I do want to quickly preface, I'm obviously not going to play every game I pick up in this series to completion. That is going to be optional. The point of this challenge is to just pick up the game. So, for Diablo 2, I am going to play it for quite a while, don't you worry. But at the making of this video, I am only level 8. And so far, I'm extremely happy with everything and extremely happy with my class pick. I'm really glad I went Druid. I'm really enjoying this sort of montage and mashup of summoning all these things possible and having this horde of plants and wolves and other creatures following me around, buffing me up, and helping me throughout my battles. It's kind of hilarious how many hours I've put into the game to only be level 8 at this point. I've really taken my time, slow and steady, going through each dungeon multiple times and really skirting my way towards each enemy. I remember when I first started playing, I wasn't sure if there was some sort of pulling the pack system like other games or other World of Warcraft games, for example. I wasn't sure if when I approached these level 1 little red, like staring at you on the screen, little red goblin devil type creatures, I wasn't sure if they were just going to pile on me and kill me and one-shot me. I was really uncertain about the difficulty of Diablo 2. I took it very carefully. And then I walked up and pretty much one-shot everything without taking any damage and realized this game was going to be a little more forgiving than I expected. At least early on. I think especially with these older games, you really just anticipate the worst. It wouldn't surprise me if you could just get piled and swarmed and killed level 1. I also made it a really important point to talk to and listen to every single NPC in the game. I really want to be immersed in exploring within the world. I don't want to just be following objectives here, and there. I really want to be listening and understanding the story and at least like talking about the world and really breathing the world. I actually have so much so that I have 6.5 minutes of footage of me just stumbling around the town and talking to everyone multiple times after I first loaded up. I also made it a really important point to talk to and listen to every single NPC in the game. I really want to be immersed in exploring within the world. I don't want to just be following objectives here, and there. I really want to be listening and understanding the story and at least like talking about the world and really breathing the world. I actually have so much so that I have 6.5 minutes of footage of me just stumbling around the town and talking to everyone multiple times after I first loaded up. One of my consistent complaints with dungeon crawlers like this in action RPGs, and this kind of follows across things like Fate, Poe, and even Diablo, and this may be a controversial opinion, and this may just be me being a noob, and maybe I just need to get good. I've always felt like the hitboxes on the enemies aren't quite forgiving enough. I think it is actually okay in a game like this for the hitboxes to be a little larger than the sprites themselves and give you a little leeway with that. There should be mechanical skill with clicking on the right enemies, but it shouldn't be so difficult where it needs to be pixel perfect. This is actually the game, in my opinion, a PVM type experience where giving a little leeway on that and adding fluidity and sort of just more a general flow of great experience and gameplay, I think it would work a lot better, but once again, maybe I just need to get good. Let me know your thoughts on that politely in the comments. Maybe I just don't have enough experience with dungeon crawlers. Most of it does come from Fate, and I have played that game quite a bit. But there's obviously always more to learn and explore. If you have any recommendations for other ARPGs that would help me get into the mechanics of this, please let me know. And even though I don't have a ton of experience in ARPGs, I do have around 20,000 hours of pretty intense skilling done in old school RuneScape, which is really a rhythm game in disguise, so I feel like my clicks aren't atrocious, but maybe just in this setting, they could be better. Another critique would be not being able to spellbind any of your spells, or at least I haven't found a way to do so far. If you know of one, please let me know. I think that would be incredible. Otherwise, I have to kind of switch between my Raven and my Wolf and everything in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, which can be a little bit of a pain, although it's not too bad since usually I'm just resummoning the Raven. But maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's supposed to be an APM sort of skill mechanic thing to, click back down there and sort of drag that screen up. But I think it just mostly feels awkward. As a little copium. I think it's better if there was a hotkey bar system. But maybe there just isn't. I haven't found it yet. That would be a little embarrassing. But I guess these videos are a little bit inherently humiliable and embarrassing since I'm diving into a new experience for the first time and showing you guys the brunt of it, so I hope you do enjoy. I did want to quickly mention I actually did struggle with some issues with the installation process that I kind of glossed over until this point. It's that same sort of window issue that you experience even with games like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. They won't have a dedicated to change the resolution option within the settings. So what you have to do is you have to end up typing /W under the target on the properties of the icon, and that will essentially run the game in windowed mode. And then I had to specifically display capture that little screen region of my desktop since there wasn't a way to actually window capture Diablo. That was unfortunate. I can only assume that the recording process for these games is only going to get more complicated from here. But so far, Diablo truly has felt like the grandfather of ARPGs, and I super see how everything has sort of spawned from this. It makes a lot of sense, and I see its origins. And I'm just trying to enjoy the ride and have fun with that experience. I know I haven't been talking a ton about the game in this video specifically, and that makes a lot of sense since this is the first video within the series, but I also do plan to do an in-depth video on Diablo. But does it still work? Does it still play? Yes, quite well, honestly. Aside from the windowed issue, I honestly could see Diablo being a game that was released in the year 2023. Its mechanics, its gameplay are so not outdated. They're still so up to par because it is truly what revolutionized a whole genre and what really sent Blizzard into the mainstream and allowed that company to become what it is today. A heaping pile of trash, unfortunately, but what it was sort of, back in the 2010s, maybe. Now, I haven't played Diablo 4, and I bet that I probably won't for another 10 to 20 years, but I hope everyone who is playing Diablo in any capacity, whether it's Diablo 1, 2, 3, or 4 today, is having a fun time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly, truly appreciate it. I really hope it was worth your time, and if you want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel for videos like this one. It really encourages me. If you want to like the video to let me know whether you enjoyed it, or dislike if you didn't enjoy it, that is also super encouraged. But that's it for me. I'm Retro Pat, and I'm peacing out.